Italian sausages are used on everything from pasta to pizza to combo beef and sausage sandwiches. The problem is the anabolic community always hears about Canadian bacon, turkey pepperoni, deli ham, deli turkey, and I wanted some Italian sausage. So today, in the anabolic laboratory, we are making Italian sausage that you can use in a variety of recipes. And coming up on the channel, I will be showing some of those recipes myself. While I was hard at work making the anabolic cookie dough, I was also making the Italian sausage in the background. I've actually spent a couple months doing this recipe, and I think you guys are going to absolutely love it. And in case you didn't know, my name is Nick, or Exercise for Cheat Meals, and I make anabolic recipes and also review other people's anabolic recipes. So if you're into that thing, subscribe to the channel and like this video. And I would also suggest sticking till the end of the video because I will be going over the macros and comparing it to real Italian sausage and also showing you substitutions that you can use instead of the ingredients that I use. So come watch me make my meat and let's get into it. We're gonna start out by getting a little teeny tiny or whatever size pan you want to use, pan on low, and you'll see why in a second. And then we're gonna take some 96.4 ground beef and we're gonna weigh out 15 ounces, which is 420 grams. Why do you do 15 ounces, Nick? Let me tell you. I am going to be putting out several Italian sausage recipes, and they're all going to include about 3 ounces of Italian sausage. If you want to use this in your own recipes, take the calories, divide them by 3, and if you want 4 ounces, add that extra divided number into your macros. Now we're gonna add 2 grams of fresh parsley. So what we're gonna have to do is cut it up into little pieces. You wanna use the leaves. If you get a little part of the stems, that's okay, but try to leave the stems out of it and use the leaves. Now if you guys don't know, Italian sausage is usually made with pork. The reason no one's using it in any of their anabolic recipes is because pork is so goddamn high in calories. Like freakishly high in calories. But it seems like no one's really took the time to make an Italian sausage anabolic recipe from scratch. So here I am. Now you don't want to cut up this parsley too much to where it's bleeding into the tray. So let me turn my scale back on. My scale is a 0.1 scale, link in description if you want to check it out. I promote it in every video, but it's great because some of these ingredients you will need like 1.5 or 2.5 grams. However, I will tell you what to use if you don't have a 0.1 scale. You want to get them pretty fine so you can get it through most of the meat. It's kind of similar to how I do the chocolate chips in my chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream, and that's why I shred it up, because then you get it in every bite versus getting it, you know, every 3 bites or whatever. You want the flavor throughout. Now, fresh garlic. Got my clove. Usually it's like 3 cloves. It just depends how big the cloves are. I've had gigantic ass cloves or I've had little teeny tiny cloves. That's why we're gonna do a measurement of 7 grams versus the amount of cloves. And I have this garlic press over here, which is a godsend. Shout out to Mina. He teaches you how to cut garlic and onions. I'll link the video. However, it's easier. I press and I go. And it's kind of and it's kind of cool seeing it squirt out every single time. There's gonna be like a little shell left in here if you've never used it before. I usually just I typically have a spoon or fork that I'm using in the recipe anyway, and I use the butt end of it to scoop that part out, and then I put a new one in. And always with like the not sharp end of the knife, I scrape the rest into there so I'm not wasting it, because that just added 1.5 grams more of garlic. 6.1, I'm sure this will send me over, but I love garlic and that's fine with me. Now we're gonna add our salt and we're going to add 8 grams. I played around with like 10 grams, 9 grams, 6 grams. I really found 8 grams to not be too salty, especially because a lot of the recipes you add salt to the other parts or salt's already in other parts of the recipe, and we don't want it to be overly salty. Fennel seeds. These smell like black licorice. I hate black licorice. However, once you mix these into the recipe, you can't tell that it tastes like black licorice. If it did, I wouldn't include it because I don't like black licorice, but this is in almost every classic Italian sausage recipe. To get the most flavor out of them, The reason we turn this pan on is because we want to toast them. Toasting them for a minute or two, not burning them, we're not crushing them, but toasting them for a minute or two is really gonna bring out the most flavor. This is an optional step, but everything I do in my recipes is to build flavor. At the end of the day, I want to build the most flavor, even if it costs us a couple extra calories or costs us an extra dish to do at the end of the recipe. Now, to do this, I need 2 grams of fennel seeds. So I'm gonna put the fennel seeds on the scale, pour 2 grams into my hand, boom. And quite technically, this doesn't even get the pan dirty. There's nothing on it. It's just fennel seeds. So if you wanna be a little sneaky man, take it, you put it in there, you put it back with the clean dishes because there's nothing on there. But always wash your dishes. It's very hard to do a measurement of pepper because so little pepper is used. I say do 10 spins. Freshly cracked is always better. Definitely get one of the ones where you could spin it and it comes out fresh. Now it's been a minute, so I'm gonna move these around in here. Now we're gonna add our paprika, which we wanna add 6.5 grams. Now, as I said earlier, I have some measurements that are half grams. If you don't have 6.5 grams, use 7. I thought 7 was still very good, but like I said, I played around with these ingredients for a while before finding out the mix that I liked. So if you like more paprika, add more paprika. No big deal. Onion powder, 3.5 grams. This will also add some nice flavor to it. I can't even really tell it tastes like onion whatsoever, but obviously if you hate onions, feel free to leave this out. Just like in the anabolic kitchen, in the anabolic laboratory, there are no rules. Do whatever you see fit, whatever tastes the best for your taste buds. Now it's been about 2 minutes, so I'm gonna take these fennel seeds off. They do get a little deeper in color. You can tell from the ones that are in the bottle, but they aren't burnt. They aren't dark brown. They just add a little bit more of a brown tint to them. All right, we're gonna add about 1 gram of pepper flakes. The people that have tried this recipe are very hot sensitive, and with 1 gram in there, they can't tell it's in there. If I put 1.5 grams though, it's too hot. Even for the hot sensitive people, I would say that this will still work, but if you're that worried about it and you don't wanna ruin like a date or something, then don't add it. Once again, no big deal. Just building flavor. So same thing with the Italian seasoning. It is a mix of, watch me say this shit wrong. Thyme, rosemary, savory, sage, oregano, and basil. Most of them are like a mix of basil, thyme, oregano, and sage, but certain Italian seasonings have certain seasonings in them. So they could all be different, but they're all essentially the same thing. Oh, that's strong. The last ingredient before we mix this all together is olive oil. But Nick, we're on an anabolic diet. We can't eat olive oil. We can't have oil, only spray. Spray is 0 calories. 1, no, it's not. 2, you're gonna have to spray your pan anyway with olive oil or canola oil or whatever to have it be non-stick. That is going to about equate the same amount of olive oil that you're going to be putting into each serving. And not only that, while the meat sits, just like the cookie dough, the meat absorbs these flavors and really blends into the meat. So the olive oil sits for a day in your meat. It's going to have a lot more of an effect on the overall flavor, which is a shit ton better if it is in the recipe and not just sprayed on the surface. Okay, so we're adding 10 grams. 10 grams is like 88, I think, calories, 90 calories, which is 17 something calories per serving. You have the option to leave it out. Sam the cooking guy is the first person that I heard say fat equals flavor. And I 100% agree. Go and take a 96.4 ground beef, make a 4-ounce burger, don't even season it. Get an 80-20 burger, don't even season it, and tell me which one tastes better. Oh, the 80-20 tastes better? Yes, it's because of the fat. So I'm adding a little bit more fat to get back a lot of flavor. Don't use it if you don't want to, but I'm telling you, at least try it my way once, and then if you're like, nah, don't really like it, then the next time, leave it out. Now, the best part of the recipe, just mix it all together. And obviously, since so much stuff is in here, you really want to give this a great mix. If you're not sure if you mixed enough, mix for another minute. It'll be worth it. When you are eating a meatball marinara sandwich, anabolic of course, and those flavors are running through your taste buds. Guys, I'm not gonna say that this is like the cookie dough recipe, which I honestly think is better than store-bought cookie dough. But you can't replace the amount of fat, no matter how many times you try to perfect the recipe. You can't replicate a pork Italian sausage. I can get the flavors right as far as the seasonings go, but that fat, you're never gonna be able to replicate the flavor, which is why I added some olive oil to this. Always trying to at least get it a little bit closer. And I think it does great. This may seem like a lot of ingredients to buy, but honestly, it's not. You probably have most of them anyway. And let's say, for example, I've probably been through about 15 pounds of Italian sausage testing this recipe. I bought this at the start, which is the most crucial ingredient, the fennel seeds, obviously besides the ground beef. And we're not even a quarter way through, maybe a fifth of the way. So this will make you like 60 pounds of sausage worth. So once you have these ingredients, you will have them forever and you will be able to use them in a versatile way with many different recipes. Now we can make this right away. We can let it sit. I would let it sit for a couple hours, let it marinate a little bit, but this is so versatile. And I love pepperoni, but I've been using it so much over the last few years because turkey pepperoni is so readily available and there's no ground beef version of Italian sausage. Now, there are turkey sausage available. They are pretty good. I think that this one is better. I was also testing it against those sausage links as well. This has less calories and I think the same amount of protein within a gram or two. And it's fresh and it tastes better. And in my opinion, there's a few things that turkey can't replicate or chicken can't replicate, and that is ground beef. So that leads to my first point. Substitutions you can use here. The first one would be turkey or chicken, ground chicken obviously, and use all the same seasonings. That's fine. Also, you can get parsley flakes, which are dried already, and you could use that instead of chopping your own fresh parsley. The reason I do the fresh parsley, more flavor. I promise you, fresh ingredients, more flavor. The second thing you could do, no olive oil. You can skip the olive oil, but I promise you, when you're making it on the stovetop, you are going to have to spray it with olive oil spray or some sort of spray which claims 0 calories, but it's actually not 0 calories. So why not have it in the meat where there's flavor everywhere throughout of the olive oil, and then you don't have to spray the pan. Sometimes I use this little nugget of mine. And then if you don't have fresh garlic, you can use garlic powder. Again, fresh versus powder. Powder's still great. I use powder in a variety of recipes. Fresh is better. Now I always have a bag of fresh garlic ready to go and my press ready to go as well, because it only takes a few seconds to press the garlic through. Let's go through the macros of my ground beef sausage versus a typical Italian sausage at the store. For 92 grams, which each serving, including, you know, all of the dry ingredients, is 92 grams. 141 calories, 5.6 fat, 2.1 carbs, 18.4 protein. For an Italian sausage, that is amazing. Let me tell you why. In a typical Johnsonville, whatever, Italian sausage that you throw on the grill, now there might be some calories from the actual, whatever's on the outside, the casing, but nonetheless, it is 82 grams, so 10 grams less, so less full in your stomach, less fill. 21 fat, minus 5.6. 3 carb, minus 2 carb. 14 protein, mine has 18. 260 calories. 260 calories. So almost double the calories for less protein. Does it taste better? Absolutely. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being Italian sausage, pork, full fat, I would give this like an 85% rating, maybe 83, maybe 84. It's not 100%. I'm not going to say that it is 100%, but to have Italian sausage back in your life again, which the point of the channel is to bring things back into your life that you didn't think that you could have while on a diet, is well worth it. There's points where I can't even tell the difference when I am eating it. If I'm thinking about it and being like, does this actually taste like sausage? When I bought sausage pizza from a local Chicago place to try the sausages and then side by side try this sausage, obviously that's when I can tell a difference. But if you're not thinking about it, you're going to think this literally tastes like Italian sausage. I guarantee it. Try my meat, don't try my meat. Keep eating turkey pepperoni, try my meat. Up to you. Doesn't matter. But at the end of the day, you're gonna try and be like, tastes so damn good. So I highly suggest you try it. Comment down below if you do. You guys are the best, especially on the cookie dough video, for commenting and letting me know how you liked the recipe, how it tasted, the negatives and the positives. So comment down below, leave this video a like. I will be back in a few days for a delicious recipe using this meat. But until next time, I will see you in that next one. Deuces.